past years.
He started working in college. Ceremony.
Jim Paulson. No, he was always in the team last year. Long time. Yeah,
I couldn't remember this morning. I didn't have time to look it up.
Nothing. That's another choir. He's not talking about. That's another choir.
Fellow Scouts and Scholars, thank you for attending this Eagle Scout Court of Honor of Troop 178. Would everyone please stand for the opening ceremony and remain standing for the invocation? Would everyone please join in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color detail, post colors. Reverend Robinson.
Good afternoon. Let us bow for our guest for invocation. Our gracious God and Father, we thank you for this special day in the life of Benjamin Kirkpatrick. Today we celebrate the accumulated efforts Benjamin has made over the years to advance in scouting. We think of all the badges he earned along the way, the oaths he learned, the character he developed, and his service to our community and fellow scouts. They're his fellow scouts. Little by little, month by month, and year by year, he was faithful, and today we celebrate this marker of faithful and hard work. So we ask you, our Lord, to bless Benjamin, his family who supported and encouraged him. We ask your blessing to fall upon his fellow scouts, whose fellowship he enjoyed along the way. We thank you for the scout leaders who gave so much time and energy to develop young men like Benjamin. Bless them with the certainty that their work has influenced the course of many lives. We all benefit because of their sacrifices and leadership. We also pray for your continued blessings upon Christ United Methodist Church as well. And so, our God, we pray that you would bless the celebration as we rejoice with the Benjamin. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please be seated. When Benjamin Kirkpatrick became a Troop 178 Scout 7 years ago, this candle was first lighted in his life. It stands for the spirit of scouting that should burn brightly in the heart of every scout. As the candles of the ceremonial logs were first lighted for Benjamin, some wax dripped onto the logs. This wax is never intentionally removed. It is possible that some of the wax of 7 years ago still exists on these logs. Today, with the relighting of the candles, new wax will be added to symbolize that Benjamin has become an Eagle Scout. To earn the higher ranks in scouting, a young man has to spend a great deal of time and effort. Therefore, the occasion which recognizes his accomplishments should be something special. Today, with the lighting of the candles, we shall consider the ideals of scouting, which began our new Eagle Scout's quest for his esteemed honor. When a boy becomes a scout, there should be something instilled within him that we call the spirit of scouting. The lighted candle represents that spirit. Because the spirit of scouting embodies the fine principles of the Scout oath and law, it becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone this light may be feeble, but when it is multiplied by more than 3 million boys in scouting, it becomes very powerful indeed. After a boy has become a scout, the Scout oath and the Scout law he has promised to obey are put into effect, as the occasion may demand. And so, one by one, using the flame of the spirit of scouting, we will light the symbols that stand for the parts of these ideals. In the 3 parts of the Scout oath, he promises to do his best and do his duty. First, to God and His country. Second, to other people by helping them at all times. And third, to himself by keeping himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now we light the candles that stand for the parts of the Scout law. There are 12 parts, all important and meaningful. Each is a vital foundation stone in the building of strong character. A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout is loyal. A Scout is helpful. A Scout is friendly. A Scout is courteous. A Scout is kind. A Scout is obedient. A Scout is cheerful. A Scout is thrifty. A Scout is brave. A Scout is clean. A Scout is reverent. We are very proud of our new Eagle Scout and congratulate him for reaching the highest point along the advancement trail. May all the qualities that have inspired him to this achievement continue to lead him on to even greater success in the great ways of life. As an Eagle Scout, the eyes of all scouting, yes, the eyes of all the world will be trained on him. The tradition of the Eagle is high. May he also live that this tradition may always be upheld and preserved. May his ways of life be guided by the spirit of scouting as symbolized by these blazing candles. May the Eagle badge which he is about to receive be symbolic of this fine spirit of scouting. In order to hold in high esteem this spirit in our lives, let us now rededicate ourselves to the ideals of scouting by reciting together the Scout oath and law. Would all Scout leaders please stand? Would all former Scouts and Scouters and anyone else who would like to participate please stand? Scout sign. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law. To help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, and mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies. Mr. Eugene Weekland has been in Scouting for 68 years, 6 years as a Boy Scout, and 63 years as a volunteer adult leader. During 41 years, he was a Scoutmaster of 3 different Boy Scout troops. Mr. Weekland has held many commissioner positions. He has been a leader at 6 National Boy Scout Jamborees and has hiked the trails of Philmont Scout Ranch in the state of New Mexico 5 times. He has been a member of the Cleveland Council Protestant Committee of Scouting, as well as the Religious Relations Committee. He and his wife have been very enthusiastic members of the Pleasant Hills United Methodist Church, holding many positions within their church. Presently, Mr. Weekland is the Scouting Coordinator for the Pleasant Hills United Methodist Church. As a professional teacher, Mr. Weekland has taught business education classes in junior and senior high schools and was on the faculty at Kent State University in Tri-C. For 9 years, he was a business manager or treasurer of the Brecksville City District. But afterwards, Mr. Weekland returned to his greatest love, teaching in the classroom. Troop 178 is happy to welcome as our new Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Eugene Weekland.
It's nice to be back. I was here 9 months ago, and they invited me back, which is one of 2 things. Either I did a good job, or they're sympathetic and want to give me a second chance. So here I am. We've just heard the words that are the principles of Scouting, the oath of the law. So I want to talk for just a few minutes about specifically something that my Scoutmaster taught me more than 70 years ago. And if you can't figure that out quickly, we're talking about the summer of 1944, which us old-timers call the good old days if we were children. If we were our parents, they were good days because, of course, we were at war. In those days, to become a 10-foot scout, we had certain things we had to do. Now, when you guys in the troop today, you know that at 10-foot, there are 13 requirements. You'll probably be shocked to learn, if you don't know this, a little history. In 1944, a 10-foot scout only had 3 requirements. Now that may make it sound like it's a lot harder today, and I guess it is in some ways. But there were only 3 requirements. It wasn't a scout rank, by the way. 10-foot was the first thing you got. You had to make 10-foot before you were officially a member. The 3 requirements were a lot like today's. The first requirement had to do with the scout oath, the scout law, the motto, the slogan, and so forth. The only thing about it was different was a whole section on the uniform. We were taught how to take care of our uniform and keep it clean. I think today that's mother's job to keep it clean, probably. But that was the first requirement. The second requirement was all about the American flag. And pretty much what you have to learn today, same thing, all about how to display the flag, how to raise it on a flagpole, how to take it down, that kind of stuff. It did also say that we had to be able to know the history of the flag, and we had to tell how many stripes and stars it has. Of course, in those days, there were fewer stars than today, too. That's changed. But that's life. Things change. 10-foot requirements have changed a lot of times since 70 years ago. But most of those things are still in the requirements today, and the boy still has to do it. Now, when I was done learning all that stuff, I had to go to my Scoutmaster's house to pass it, prove to my Scoutmaster I had learned everything. And I remember that day. It was a warm summer day, and we sat on his front porch, and he told me something that I'd never thought about, and it wasn't in the handbook. Now, if you look through the Boy Scout handbooks over the years, I don't know how many editions they've been, they take up a lot of space on my bookshelf. One of the things that stands out is the handbook normally taught a 10-foot scout that over the centuries and throughout history, Men have had codes of honor that they follow, and men have taken oaths in which they promised what they would do. And he told me that there was a difference between almost all of those oaths and the Scout oath. Now, all of those oaths have in common the words, I will. Maybe in different languages, but I will appears in almost all oaths. And down through the centuries, men have said the promise, I will. The Athenian boys learned their oath, in which in addition to promising what they would do, they promised they would not be a coward in battle. The Incas of Peru had oaths, the samurai of Japan had oaths, and the knights of the Middle Ages had oaths. All of them. And what they all have in common is those two words, basically, I will. But then that scoutmaster taught me something that stuck with me probably more than anything else he ever taught me. He taught me about three extremely important words in the Scout oath. They're the words that come after I will. We say, I will do my best. Do my best. And what that is an admission that we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We do things we're not supposed to do. All of us are. The Christian faith teaches that we're all sinners. I'm sure that there's not a boy sitting down here who has at some time broken various parts of the Scout law. I mean, it's pretty hard to be friendly and cheerful all the time, especially if other people are obnoxious. It's hard to be brave. We've all been scared sometime, Ron. And then there's that really tough one that says a scout is obedient. And if you read the small print in the handbook, it says you will do what your parents tell you to do. Well, there's not a man in this audience, whether he was a scout or not, who met that requirement. I dare say every one of you has already done something that you hope your parents will never find out about. And your parents, if they're here, they have things they hope your grandparents will never find out about. Okay? It's hard to be perfect and do all the things that are in the Scout oath and all those things that we promise to do. But we try to do our best. So that's why we're here today. We're here today to recognize a young man for some 7 years has been a scout repeating that oath and trying to do his best. It's not been easy. Doing your best is tough. It's difficult. But it's good words to live by. But he has practiced that. He has worked hard. He has earned, yes, a lot of badges and so forth. But along the way, he's done more than just get badges. He's learned to do his best. He's learned to do his best in doing his duty to God, to do his best in doing his duty to his country. He has learned to do his best for himself, to make himself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally strong. That's a part of what he's been doing. 7 years of working toward this day, of doing his best. And I would encourage each of you, Scouts, if you will do your best throughout your life, you will be a much happier person. And so it's my pleasure now to call to this stage the newest Eagle Scout of Troop 178, Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick. Benjamin? Listen carefully how he has done this. Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick resides with his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Kirkpatrick, and Sister Amanda in North Olmsted, Ohio. He and his family belong to the Western United Methodist Church. He belongs to his church youth fellowship and has played in the youth handbell choir. He is a senior at North Olmsted High School, where he's a member of the high school marching band, has participated in the choirs and musical ensembles at all levels, grade school, middle school, and high school. He is a member of his high school National Honor Society and Key Club, a service organization, and has been active in intramural sports. He has been cast in many school plays and musicals. Benjamin earned the Arrow of Light as a 3-year member of Cub Scout Pack 178 of the Christ United Methodist Church. He joined Troop 178 on March 31st, 2008. He has served as troop as assistant patrol leader, and assistant senior patrol leader. He has attended numerous weekend troop campouts, long-term summer camps, district activities, troop tours to historical locations, service projects, and troop fundraisers. He has earned 22 merit badges in his quest for the rank of Eagle Scout. It's a pleasure to congratulate him and welcome him. Let's give him a round of applause. At this time, I get to introduce Mr. Rick Darvis, who has, in the words of his father, been steeped in the traditions of scouting since the day he was born. In Troop 178, he has been Assistant Scoutmaster as well as the Charter Organization Representative of the Church. He has received the District Award of Merit and the Consul Silver Beaver Award. He has been recognized for his dedication to his Christian faith. 6 years ago, he received the God and Services Award at the United Methodist Church. Presently, the Darvis family are members of the Bethany English Lutheran Church of West Park. A Cleveland firefighter, Mr. Darvis is a lieutenant in the West Side Fire Department Battalion. He is a certified CPR instructor and a registered emergency medical technician. In 1979, Mr. Darvis became an Eagle Scout of Troop 178. He will start the presentation of Eagle Scout honors today with certificates of congratulations that have been received for Benjamin Kirkpatrick. Mr. Darvis.
Thank you, Gene. Benji, it's been fun watching you progress and finally make it to this day. I remember you got your Arrow of Light when you were still in the pack, and we came to the troop, and lo and behold, you came up with a great idea for a service project, and you succeeded. You completed it, and you made a lot of kids happy in the Northwest school system. I have a few certificates here. There'll be more coming in the mail in the next few weeks. These are the ones we've received so far, and I want to read a little bit about them and hand them to you as I go. Dear Benjamin, congratulations on the high distinction of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. The path to becoming an Eagle Scout is a long one, filled with community service, teamwork, and responsibility, fun, and a great deal of effort. I commend you for your hard work. Sincerely, Rob Portman. Dear Benjamin, I am writing to congratulate you on the occasion of your attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America. You have a great deal of which to be proud of, and I salute you in your efforts to achieve a position that only a small percent of all Boy Scouts obtain. Sincerely, Marcy Captain, representative. Dear Benjamin, I am honored to join your fellow Boy Scouts in celebrating your Eagle Scout designation. I grew up in and around scouting. Believe it or not, my mother was a Cub Scout den mother to me and one of my classmates, Britt Hume, who went on to do some of the most important reporting on government and major issues today. And my mother treasured the pin she received many years ago for the decades of scouting and volunteer work. Knowing what I do about Eagle Scouts, I'm reminded of the special combination of integrity, perseverance, and discipline it required to bring you to this day. Good for you. Congratulations, John Carey. Dear Benjamin, congratulations on receiving the rank of Eagle Scout. This honor is a testament to your hard work and dedication over several years, and you should be proud. Congratulations, Joseph R. Biden. Dear Benjamin, congratulations on the completion of your Eagle Scout Award. Your participation in school and community activities all give testimony to your qualifications of becoming an Eagle Scout. May God bless you on your occasion of the award ceremony and continue to use you as a leader in Troop 178 and in the North Olmsted community, residing Bishop John L. Hopkins, United Methodist Church. So we have a proclamation here from the Attorney General's office. Dear Benjamin, congratulations on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. This is a distinction that very few are able to achieve, and it is an honor that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. I have enjoyed watching my own children and grandchildren participate in both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. It has taught them that honesty, hard work, and integrity are essential to success in any walk of life. One of my sons is also an Eagle Scout, so I understand the incredible amount of work and dedication it requires. Again, congratulations on your achievement. Respectfully yours, Mike DeWine, Ohio Attorney General, who's also an Eagle Scout. Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick, Boy Scouts of America, Troop 178. Congratulations on joining the elite group of Scouts that have earned the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout. This is a richly deserved award of excellence of which you can be very proud. We are confident that the hard work, devotion, and leadership you have displayed will serve you and our nation well into the years to come. John R. Kasich, Governor, State of Ohio. And last, from the authority of the Secretary of State of Ohio, John Houston, of the 53rd Ohio Secretary of State, presents the certificate of commendation to Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick. As Ohio's 53rd Secretary of State, it is my unique distinction and great honor to commend you for becoming an Eagle Scout. I wish you continued success in life and hope this achievement is but one in a long line similar, well-deserved advancements. Sincerely, John Houston, Ohio Secretary of State.
Pleased to have with us today some special guests who have come personally to be here and recognize Ben's accomplishment. First, it's my pleasure to introduce a representative of the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War. It is an organization of men who have either a direct blood-related ancestor who fought for the Union Army during the American Civil War, or who are blood-related to an ancestor whose brother fought for the Union. Mr. Gage Georgiev is an Eagle Scout coordinator for the James A. Garfield Camp of Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, and very importantly, is an Eagle Scout from Troop 178. So he has, in effect, returned home. He received his Eagle Scout Award here in 1983. Mr. Georgiev.
Congratulations, Benjamin, on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. And I'd like to present you with a certificate from the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, and also from the National Society of the Sons of the Union Veterans of the Civil War. Congratulations.
Next, we welcome Mr. Terry Groden, a member of the North Olmsted City School Board since 2010 and currently as Vice President. Mr. Groden's committee responsibilities include being its Faith Community Forum representative. He is on the Ohio School Board Association Student Achievement Liaison, and he is a Public Relations Committee representative. Mr. Groden has been selected to serve as the Ohio School Board's Association representative to Washington, D.C. to advocate for public education and adequate funding for public schools. He was most instrumental in gaining the approval of the North Olmsted School Board for Benjamin Kirkpatrick's Eagle Scout budget. Mr. Groden.
Benjamin, on behalf of the children the North Olmsted City Schools, the teachers, the administrators, and on behalf of my fellow board members, we wish to congratulate you on the attainment of Eagle Scout and thank you for the effort that you did on behalf of the children in the schools. From a personal note, I have been pleased to watch you in many different capacities as my children go to the same schools that you do. And I believe it's always a mark of someone's character when they don't know that they're being watched. And I can say that in all of my observations and dealings with you, you have impressed me greatly in all that you do. And I know that you will wear the badge of Eagle Scout very proudly. Congratulations.
Troop 178 is glad to welcome today Mr. David Greenspan, the Councilman of Cobb County District 1, which includes the cities of Bay Village, Fairview Park, North Olmsted, Rocky River, and Westlake. Mr. Greenspan's expertise in finance and operational leadership have made him an advocate of emergency businesses in his constituency. He was the chairman of the Cobb County Operations and Intergovernmental Relations Committee, and recently has been appointed the chair of the Council's Budget and Finance Committee. Here is Mr. Groden with the congratulations to the County Council.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here, and as Representative Baker and Senator Pat and I make these presentations throughout the district over the course of the years, it is truly an honor to be here today to share this day with you, and I want to congratulate you, but also want to congratulate your parents for their dedication and commitment, because we all know that strong families lead to strong leaders. And one of the things that I want to emphasize that has always impressed me with scouting, and this isn't taught too much in the schools anymore, is the fact that scouting and Eagle Scouts are required to attain 3 levels of citizenship badges, which you don't hear too many people, especially young people today, talk about citizenship or the value of giving back to your community, and scouting clearly provides that vehicle, and I commend you for that. Very quickly and briefly, I won't read the whole resolution, but I have a resolution on behalf of the Cuyahoga County Council, and it states the Council of Cuyahoga County, Ohio takes profound pride and deep personal pleasure in congratulating Benjamin Kirkpatrick, Boy Scout Troop 178, on the occasion of achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. Whereas Benjamin Kirkpatrick now represents what in scouting the Eagle stands for, strength of character and for knowledge of all phases of scouting. The Eagle is a symbol of what a young man has done, as well as what a young man will do and will be when he grows to manhood. The Eagle is a leader. The Eagle is respected both by his peers and by his adult leaders for his understanding of the community and nation and a deep respect for the same. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of Cuyahoga County, Ohio hereby salutes Benjamin Kirkpatrick on the occasion of his achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. This is an extraordinary achievement and one we wish him much success in reaching all future goals. Although it's signed by me individually, this is on behalf of the entire County Council and Council President Dan Brady. Congratulations.
Notice we have an official collector of all these proclamations and so forth, otherwise poor Ben would be standing up here and hardly be able to see him behind that pile. We're pleased to have with us today Representative Nan Baker of the Ohio House of Representatives, District 16, to which she won election in 2009. She previously was a member of the Westlake City Council, as well as a member of the Westlake Board of Education. Here on behalf of the House of Representatives, Representative Dan Baker.
Hello, everyone, and it certainly is really an honor for me to be here today to present Benjamin his proclamation. As I said, County Council Dave Greenspan, and as you hear from our Senator Patton, and also our school board members here, also Terry Groden. This is really a special occasion. We understand through the numerous times that we have been there at the Eagle Scout Court of Honors what a special day this is, how hard you worked, how the parents were very much involved, and our community leaders and our churches and schools all participate in some way to bring you here today. And that is, a special honor that we recognize at the Ohio House. There is a little bit that I will read because it's written so well and it really gives you an idea of how we give that higher level of importance for someone like Benjamin today to receive Eagle Scout. It reads, on behalf of the members of the Ohio House of Representatives, the 130th, actually it is now the 131st General Assembly, we are pleased to congratulate Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick on attaining the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest rank in Scouting. A senior at North Olmsted High School, you are a remarkable young man, combining civic concern and dedication with selfless initiative to become a dynamic member of the Boy Scouts of America. The Eagle Scout is a fitting tribute to you for your hard work and strength of character, and you are truly deserving of high praise. Your continued participation in the Scouting program will serve as a source of inspiration to those you follow in your path. I'm talking to those younger boys that are sitting right here in the first couple of rows. Those who follow and encouraging them to strive for excellence. Thus, with great pleasure, we commend you for outstanding achievement and salute you as Ohio's finest young citizen. Thank you very much for allowing me to give this to Benjamin, and it's really an honor for me to be here. Congratulations.
2178 welcomes today Mr. David Greenspan, Constable of County District 1, which includes the city. I got the wrong one. Huh?
I'll come back up.
Typical politician.
Calvation gave me too many copies. I read that one. Let me try again. I'll try a different number. Mr. Tom Patton, I have the pleasure of introducing. I know that Mr. Patton has been admitted these Eagle Corps honors. He's a member and current majority leader of the Ohio Senate, representing the 24th District since 2008. He formerly served in the Ohio House of Representatives from 2003 to 2008. Senator Patton is a member of the Knights of Columbus, the Cleveland Police Historical Society, the AFL-CIO, and serves as president of the Treasurers and Ticket Sellers Local 756. 2178 welcomes Ohio Senator Thomas Patton.
I'm just telling Mr. Weaver, I don't think it looked like Dave Greenspan. Dave Greenspan has to leave for me to say that. First of all, welcome everybody. It's a great way to spend a stormy afternoon in January. See my old friend from Strong's out there, Mr. Mountain, so hello, John. Keep up the good work. First of all, I would like to say thank you to Reverend Robertson. I've always believed that anything that happens special in our life should happen in church. And as Dan Baker, my colleague, and as well as Councilman Greenspan, we go to a lot of these things, and sometimes in the auditorium, sometimes they're in gymnasiums. Most of the time they're in church, and I think that everything that's important that we have done in our life, from birth to death and everything in between, happens in church. So I'm delighted, in talking to your dad about the connection between this church and while it's being held here. Apparently the family had, although they live in North Olmsted, they have quite an affinity and feeling for this church. I, often find most of the time myself going to my old parish on West 65th Street, St. Coleman's. Sometimes certain churches just kind of feel a little bit more special, This young man is the 24th Eagle Scout in Troop 178. That's in 80 years, folks. 80 years to get 24 Eagle Scouts. That's how difficult it is to reach that rank. I just want to point that number out. Now, his father was an Eagle Scout, so I can only imagine the pressure this young man was on. And your dad is an Eagle Scout. But his mom and dad, grew up in North Olmsted, high school sweethearts. They had his older sister, Mandy, who fortunately is going to Ohio school. We want to make sure she stays in Ohio. I talked to young Mr. Kirkpatrick, and he said he's looking at some Ohio schools. We want to keep our brains right here in Ohio. I hope he does that. But folks, this is a real special thing, and you cannot overemphasize it. As a matter of fact, one other thing I found very interesting, both of his grandfathers, both his mother's father and his father's father were buddies in high school in North Olmsted. So I think that kind of, I don't know if the grandparents are here today or not. If you aren't, I wish congratulations in the absence, but I just kind of think that's very touching to hear. You know, I always said I have 5 daughters, and you know, 4 of them were already married, and I always like to say none of them brought me home an Eagle Scout yet, but I have 1 daughter left. No pressure. She's too old for you. But we do want to congratulate the moms and the dads, because again, that's the one part. Second part of the 3-part harmony are the Scout Masters, because everybody kind of, you know, contributes to helping get over the finish line. We're delighted your project was done in North Homestead Schools, where you got your education and you're about to finish. But at the end of the day, here's a young man. He's in the marching band. He's in all the musical and the choir ensembles. He's an intramural athlete. He's a National Honor Society student. He's done all that. And yet in the same period of time he's been doing all that, he found the time to be able to achieve what he needed to do to get to be an Eagle Scout. And that's a title, ladies and gentlemen. He won't be a former high school band member. When they say, will all the Eagle Scouts please stand up, he will always get to stand up because he'll be an Eagle Scout till the day he dies. So on behalf of the House Senate, just to let him know that we're watching what he's doing. We're keeping a good eye on him. Please join me as I congratulate Ryan on this fantastic achievement. Congratulations.
Now, we can't always be sure that we've covered everybody because though many people get invited, I want to ask if there was anybody else here representing that was invited and came in late perhaps. I don't want to miss anyone. I guess we finished with that part, so we'll move on to the next presentation. It's the custom of Troop 178 to ask the new Eagle Scout, whom in his desire he would like to invite to present his Eagle badge. As obvious tributes, most of them have invited esteemed teachers. Benjamin has done likewise. Mrs. Carrie Whitehouse has been an instrumental music teacher in the North Olmsted school system for 35 years. Not only was she a teacher of Benjamin, but also for Benjamin's father, Mr. Rob Kirkpatrick, and his Aunt Heather, when they were students of Mrs. Whitehouse. Although not retired from teaching, Mrs. Whitehouse has recently contributed her own musical abilities. She has been in the cast of a local musical presented by fellow seniors and has utilized her administrative skills during solo musical competitions in the Cleveland area. Mrs. Whitehouse says that she misses the kids in the school classrooms, but she has already encountered some adults whose own musical talents were enhanced by her as her high school music teacher. They miss her. It is my pleasure to welcome a fellow educator, Mrs. Carrie Whitehouse.
I would like to start by saying how honored I am to have been asked to be here. And I've known Ben since he was a 7th grader, and at the middle school and band. And, you know, part of the history, they said in the introduction, when I first started teaching in the early 80s, his dad, Rob, was a member, and Heather was an oboe player, and I think it was at Butternut School. But also, I have a daughter who's an oboe player, and she took lessons from his grandma, Nancy, for many years. And Becky would come out and she'd say, "Oh, Nancy's grandson is there." And oh, I said, was he well behaved? She says, "Oh, not a peep. He was so well behaved." So you were good from the get-go. And then fast forward to having Amanda in orchestra. And if any of you have participated in a middle school band where you hand 50 kids noisemakers and ask them to sit still and pay attention, you know how challenging that can be. Middle school years present many challenges to all students in so many different ways. It's a time when students want to be individuals, yet similar to everyone else. They want to try to figure out who they are and become adults, yet they don't want to give up the fun of being a kid. In an ensemble class, like I had then, we worked very hard at bonding and working as a team, because it's so important to respect the other members in the group, because the overall performance always rests on everyone. It has been a pleasure to watch students mature from squirmy 7th graders to young adults. That process is not without many challenges, and they're different for each student, but they are present for everyone just the same. Middle school students, the biggest challenge is staying focused on an individual part, while multiple others are being rehearsed. Very, very difficult task. The lesson that you must work hard for positive results. We live in an instant gratification world, and sticking with a difficult task goes against many of today's trends. It is the constant reminder of expectations that pushes students to progress. The goals are similar for Eagle Scouts. It was a steady progression for you then for 22 merit badges, campouts, and other activities that made you an Eagle Scout. It's not something achieved quickly or easily, and very few scouts reach that goal. During his middle school years, Ben progressed well in his musical development. I can't say that there weren't several reminders sent his way about talking, but he always responded respectfully. The high school years present a different set of challenges. First of all, there's a much larger number of students to interact with. And as a student there, you need to be much more independent and responsible. Ben responded well to this challenge. His musical skills continued to improve as I was amazed how quickly Ben could memorize music, especially in marching band. We'd hand out music, and in 2 days, he had it memorized. and that is quite a feat. He began to settle in. His extra talking subsided, and he became a much more proficient player. He participated in jazz band and pep band and any other kind of performances that were going on. He enjoys performing, and he's very, very reliable. When he says he's going to be there, he's there. Or if something comes up, he notifies you. And that is a wonderful quality. What I really enjoy about Ben is his positive attitude. He smiles often, and he takes things as they come. And in today's world, that's not an easy thing to do. I often would hear kids standing around talking in the hallway, and they'd be complaining about this, or complaining about that, or complaining about this person. Never once have I ever heard Ben complaining about anyone, or complaining about a situation. He just deals with it. And it's been a wonderful journey watching Ben turn into a fine young man. And I have been very pleased to be a part of it. So thank you for inviting me here, and it is quite the honor. And now it is time for the presentation of the Eagle Award. So at this point, the Eagle Badge will now be presented. With the Eagle Awards, please be brought forward. Would Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick please escort his parents forward? Ben, I'm going to give you a pin called Mentor's Recognition. It is for the person you feel has been the most influential in guiding you toward Eagle Scout. Would you please call that person forward now? Then, your mother displays all the miniature badges of rank that you have received through the years. Would you now add this mother's eagle pin?
I'll drop.
Then, when you joined Troop 178, you gave a pin to your father. He was told that he would not receive another pin until you became an Eagle Scout. Now, after 7 years, would you pin his father's eagle pin on your dad? Mrs. Kirkpatrick, I am giving you your son's badge of Eagle Scout rank. Would you pin it
joined Troop 178 over 40 years ago as an assistant scout master, and for many years now has been the troop chairman. All three of his sons and a grandson are members of the troop. He is an active troop camper, a merit badge consul, has received the district's award of merit, and a Silver Beaver Award of the Greater Cleveland Council of Boy Scouts of America. Mr. Penner is a lifelong member of the Trinity Lutheran Church of Cleveland, and for many years was the chairman of the Board of Education of the cluster of Lutheran parochial schools on Cleveland's west side. 6 years ago, Mr. Penner was honored with the Lamb Award of the Lutheran Church for his dedication to his faith and to the Boy Scout movement as an adult man. He is here to present Benjamin with his Eagle Scout certificate. Mr. Ray Penner.
I love hearing all that. Benjamin, come a little closer. I have a couple letters. This one is from Rain Rock Chief Scout Executive. I'll only read a little bit of it. Eagle Scout is a beginning, not the end of your journey. As an Eagle Scout, much is expected of you in your community, in your religious faith, in your family, and in your scouting life. It's filled with expectations, and with each new recognition, you are obligated to seek broader horizons of service. And it's Chief Scout Executive. This one is from Barry J. Norris, the Scout Executive of Cleveland's Council. May your life in scouting serve as a cornerstone on which your adult life will be built. Think often of your Eagle ceremony, for it will serve you as a reminder to you to repay those who have helped you by helping others. This is your Eagle Scout certificate. Benjamin R. Kirkpatrick, Troop 178, Cleveland, Ohio, in recognition of successful completion of all requirements for scouting's highest rank. And they're signed by the BSA President, Chief Scout Executive, Honorary President, and the Commissioner of Scouting. Keep this in your wallet. In fact, put it in your pocket right now so you never lose it. That's to remind you that you're always an Eagle Scout. Thank you.
Now I'm pleased to present Mr. Sam Darvis, who joined Troop 178 as a scout in 2007. Before that, he was a Cub Scout in Pack 178 for 3 years. Both units sponsored by the Christ United Methodist Church. Presently, he is an assistant scoutmaster at Troop 178. Sam is a student at the Lorraine College Community College and is employed as a lifeguard at the swimming pool of the Gemini Recreation Center in Fairview Park. A job that he acquired because of the words Eagle Scout on his application. Sam Darvis received his Eagle Scout rank from Troop 178 in May of 2014. He is here to present the Eagle Scout Challenge to Benjamin Kirkpatrick.
Okay, Ben, I'm going to read to you the Eagle Scout Challenge. The foremost responsibility of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. May the white of the Eagle Badge remind you to always live with honor. The second obligation of an Eagle Scout is loyalty. Let the blue of the Eagle Badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Let the red of the Eagle Badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of the Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. The scroll on the second class rank on your Eagle Badge has its ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service, so always be prepared to put forth your best in service to others. Wear your Eagle Badge with humility, mindful that the Eagle Scout is looked up to as an example. May the Scout Oath and Scout Law be your guides for tomorrow and into the future. This is your Eagle Scout Challenge. Now please make the Scout sign and repeat after me the words of the Eagle Promise. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence, count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Congratulations.
The National Eagle Scout Association is an organization of Eagle Scouts throughout our nation. It is a tradition that Troop 178 enrolls every one of its Eagles into this honored association. This honor will now be presented to Benjamin Kirkpatrick. All of the Eagle Scouts of Troop 178 who are present should now come forward to assist in the presentation.
I know I have some Eagles in the audience here. Mr. Harold Brashwitz, would you come forward too? Come on up, Harold. Benjamin, you're surrounded here by Eagle Scouts from this troop. Mr. Brashwitz made his Eagle Scout in this church back in 1945. He is our oldest Eagle Scout from our troop represented today. Of the 24 Eagles that we've had in our troop during its history, the Scoutmaster Les Darvis has had 16 of them. And I'd like to say, the man next to Mr. Brashwitz is Mr. T. Dana Smith. He was the Scoutmaster's first Eagle in this troop, and Dana made the Eagle in 1971. I'd also like to introduce all other Eagles. We have Mr. John Robinson, Eagle Scout, Mr. Gage Georgette, Eagle Scout, Sam Darvis, Eagle Scout, and though Benjamin's dad didn't make Eagle Scout in his troop, he is a member of this troop now, so we brought him up here too. Benjamin, there's a certificate coming from the National Eagle Scout Association, and it didn't come in the mail yet. The Scout office must have forgot a stamp. What we do have, your neckerchief, which we're going to put on. Will my fellow Eagles please take off Benjamin's neckerchief here? And will you all help join me here in putting this neckerchief on Ben? Good job. Put it on here. Let's give Benjamin another round of applause.
If the Eagle Scouts move in, get closer to Benjamin. Thank you.
It is a custom of Troop 178 for its members to present a special gift to its new Eagle Scout. So at this time, we're going to ask all the present Scouts of 178 to come forward here with the congratulations for Benjamin. And the Senior Patrol Leader, Vincent McIntosh, will make the presentation.
prepared.
The keys are. Thank you. My last task today is to introduce an old friend, the Scoutmaster. Now, you heard I've been a Scoutmaster a long time. Decades ago, I heard it said many, many times that you have to be half crazy Scoutmaster. And I think there's a lot of truth in that. And I spent 41 years doing it, so I don't know how fast half that may be. But this Scoutmaster has been around now for 47 years. I'm not sure what that says about how he is at that scale of being half crazy. But when you stop and think that the average Scoutmaster lasts less than 3 years, and many of them no more than 2 years, in fact, there are some troops where they last 1 year because they rotate, and every father has to do it for 1 year. So for 47 years, he's been helping young people and also helping other scouters. It's been my pleasure to listen to him as he trains scouters in activities like roundtables and so forth. I have at home file cabinets full of things that I can do at a troop meeting with my troop that I still work with or do at camp. And included among many of those papers are papers that I've picked up from your Scoutmaster, because he has so many good ideas of things Scouts can do, and I'm pleased for that opportunity. He would tell you that as dedicated as he is to the Scout movement, what he is most proud of is the fact that both his son, who has been up here, and his grandson are Eagle Scouts also. And so it's my pleasure now to introduce the guy who runs this whole operation, Mr. Les Darvis.
At the end of every Boy Scout meeting, the Scoutmaster is given a chance to say a few words to the Scouts. It's called the Scoutmaster's Minute. But there's one thing about the Scoutmaster's Minute. It's like a preacher's sermon. You never know how long it's going to take. So now here I am with the Scoutmaster's Minute. I want to point out a few things. First of all, the most important person probably who is here, and that's our Scout member Tyler Morrissey, whose job has been to relieve the Eagle Scout of all the things he's presented. I've been to so many Eagle Courts of Honors where things are given to the Eagle Scout and he doesn't know what to do with this stuff, but Tyler has collected everything, and what's going to happen after this program is Tyler and the other members of our Scout troop are going to grab everything and go down these steps to the hall downstairs and lay everything out as a display on the 2 tables that have the green tablecloths. Did you hear that? 2 tables with the green tablecloths. Don't forget now, spread everything out on the 2 tables with the what color? Green tablecloth. In a few minutes, I'm going to introduce Pastor Butchko of the Westlake United Methodist Church with the benediction. I never met Pastor Butchko, Reverend Butchko, until I gave him a call, and he knew of me. So I want to tell that story. I've been a Sunday school teacher in this church of an adult Sunday school class for about 40 years. And one year I also had the job of coming up with programs for the social activities of the year. There was a theater in Cleveland called the Music Carnival, and on this particular year they publicized that they were going to present a real honest burlesque show. So I thought it would be wonderful if I could take my Sunday school class to the burlesque show. But I wanted to make sure that I had permission to do this, so I stopped in one day to see the minister of this church, Reverend Davis, and I told him about my intention of bringing my class to the burlesque show. I asked him, "How do you feel about this, sir?" Well, he told me how he felt. He put his hand in his wallet and gave me some money. He said, "Here, get me 2 tickets." That's only half of the story, because when we got to the show, the public address announcer was watching for us, and as my Sunday school class came into the burlesque show, he announced in the public address system, "And we welcome the Sunday school members from the Christ United Methodist Church," and with that announcement, he brought the house down. So, Pastor, thank you for reminding me of that episode of my life. I want you to know, sir, if I ever take my Sunday school class to a burlesque show and you're still in the area, would you like to be invited to come
Yes,
along?
that might have my
I see a little bit of stir. Is there anybody else here who would be interested in coming to the burlesque show with my Sunday school? That's great, but that's not the real question. The most important question is, how many of you would like to come to my Sunday school class? Oh, wait a minute. Benjamin Kirkpatrick, come on up. Benjamin Kirkpatrick has turned 18 years old, and that means he's no longer a Boy Scout. So we found something else for him to do in his Scout troop. Benjamin, back up a little bit so you can play next to me here. Benjamin, as an adult in our Boy Scout troop, I would like to present you now with your Assistant Scoutmaster's badge. You probably know that you are an Assistant Scoutmaster as well as an Eagle Scout in Boy Scout Troop 178. Here's a plaque for you to hang in your bedroom wall. Benjamin, you've seen a lot of people today. A lot of people have given up this afternoon just for you. You're an important person to them, and they've given up this whole afternoon to see you become an Eagle Scout. But there's one person you haven't seen yet today, and now you're going to see that person. Would you hold this, please? Look carefully, Benjamin. Think about what you see. Perhaps what you see is something so ordinary to you that you take it for granted. You see it every day. You see it every day when you look at yourself in a mirror. It's the face that is yours, and it is no other face. It is a part of you. It is you. But perhaps it is not the same face that other people see. For what they see may be entirely different. So the more important question today is not what do you see, but what do they see? Look at these other people, Benjamin. As you move your head and eyes from side to side, look into their eyes. Pause briefly as your eyes meet theirs. What do they see? Perhaps you notice that as your gaze meets their eyes, or the eyes of others, many of them are smiling. No doubt they are pleased with what they see. Because many people here hardly know you, but they have been willing to devote this entire afternoon just for you. Are they pleased with what they see? Although you may have seen an ordinary face in the mirror, they see much more. For in your face, in your whole self, in your character, Benjamin, they see a hope to the future of our country. For of all the negative things that adults may hear about youth today, there is still hope. There are still some young people such as you, Benjamin, who have striven to achieve accomplishment. Their eyes, their smiles, the people here today are pleased with what they see. You have been blessed with their confidence that you too, and many others like you, are ready to move on into the future, making the future the best possible. So carry on, Eagle Scout. As you meet the challenges before you, may your successes continue to multiply. May you have a rewarding life that may be a benefit throughout. For this is what these people see of you, Benjamin Kirkpatrick. Hope for our future. Congratulations. After the closing ceremony, I'm going to ask you to give me a chance to get Benjamin downstairs to the fellowship hall, so he's there waiting for you, so he can greet you when you come down to the reception. Please come to the reception. It's a really enjoyable part of our program. And now it's my privilege to introduce, to present the benediction, Reverend John Witchko of the Westlake United Methodist Church. You have 1 minute, sir.
I'll take the same minute you talk. Benjamin, when you were standing up here after you had just received your Eagle Scout badge, I have never seen anyone stand taller and prouder and have a bigger smile on your face than you did. It just radiated. Remember that pride. Remember your accomplishment. I remember when I first met you, it was at some youth planning event, and I just thought, there's something special, there's something strong, there's something gentle about Benjamin. And I've continued to see that, but I've also seen the fear of God in you. I saw the fear of God in you as we talked about this day, and I said I was going to ask Amanda for some stories about you. And when I said that, you had the fear of God, and you said, please don't do that. May all of us see that we have the ability to be better than we have thought that we could. Just as Benjamin accomplished more than he thought he perhaps could, we can all do better. And those words of the Scout law and the Scout promises are words we can all do regardless of our gender. And Benjamin, I've met lots of people through the years who are Scouts that got a little bit up the way, who regret that they did not achieve Eagle Scout. I've never met an Eagle Scout who regretted becoming an Eagle Scout. So go forward, all of us, to reach as high as we possibly can, and to trust that the grace of God is there and will support us and send us and lead us in all situations. Go in peace and love and be a beacon of light in this world. Thanks be to God. Amen.
Troop 178 would like to thank Mr. Eugene Wheatland for conducting our Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Please stay for the reception to follow and congratulate our Eagle Scout, Benjamin Kirkpatrick. Before the colors were retired, would Vincent McIntosh please extinguish all ceremony candles. Will everyone please stand? Color detail, please retrieve the flags. Thank you for coming today. Color detail, retire colors. Scout salute. Two.